Welcome, everyone. Your Excellencies, Prime Minister Solberg, ministers, leaders from civil society, government, philanthropy, and industry. I'm Anne Marie Slaughter, the President of New America, and I'm delighted to welcome you to this landmark conversation. 75 years ago, leaders from around the world came together to rebuild from the rubble of war. Communities that had been broken by crisis and conflict recognized that going forward, things had to be different. They harnessed the best tools of their time to build an international architecture, including the United Nations and the Bretton Woods systems. Those systems are still with us, and they have prevented another global war. We are once again living through a global moment when institutions are buckling under the weight of multiple crises. Families and communities worldwide are suffering loss and economic devastation from the current pandemic. And once more, there is a growing resolve that things must be different. We must do better. As Abraham Lincoln said in the context of another crisis, because our case is new, we must think anew and act anew. Today, technology gives us access to a new set of remarkable tools. In the same way that the United Nations and the Bretton Woods institutions expanded access to clean water, electricity, roads, peace, and security to unlock massive human potential in the 20th century, we can broaden access to a new generation of digital solutions to make an infrastructure for digital identity, digital payments, data management, e-procurement, and other systems. Those are emerging as key drivers of progress around the world. If we do our jobs, open source technology platforms are poised to bring greater resilience, efficiency, and accountability to governments around the world. Many of you are founding members of the Digital Public Goods Alliance and are already deeply engaged in this work. Melinda Gates and Jack Ma led a high-level panel on behalf of the UN Secretary General on digital cooperation. We have with us leaders today who are building open source solutions for identity, payments, and many other challenges. Our opportunity is to unite these projects into one common ecosystem defined by common standards. Doing so will not only lead to greater progress within nations, but between nations. As our first two speakers today would suggest, digital solutions do not divide on north-south lines. This is a global effort, and many nations in the global south are leapfrogging legacy systems. These innovations then thus present a huge opportunity for all nations to develop 21st century solutions. Our organization, New America, is a think and action tank founded 2 decades ago to help societies harvest the opportunities and meet the challenges of the digital age. Within this realm, few issues are more important and more urgent than using technology to fix our broken public institutions. Our Digital Impact and Governance Initiative, affectionately known as DIGI, is already collaborating with the Rockefeller Foundation and governments in the United States and around the world to build and deploy open source platforms for the public sector. But we don't think, and we're not so naive as to think, that we can do this work alone. Building the next generation of digital government platforms and the communities required to support them will take a network just as big and as bold as the original countries who came together to create the United Nations. That's why we've brought a whole set of leaders today to think about how we can build an ecosystem.